beautiful Monday in the middle of May, but changes are on the way. Gorgeous conditions, sunny skies, but a major change in our weather is in store. Let's have a look right now.
A look at the weather from above on your Monday features a wonderful, huge view of the Pacific Ocean and the western United States with clouds across the Pacific. Notice very carefully there is a conveyor belt of cloudiness extending thousands of miles across the ocean. That is a telling sign of what's to come. And this area of clouds is the first major indicator of a huge change in our weather pattern. Of course, we know we've had some active weather over the last several days, and we've had a bit of a break during Sunday to Monday, and that'll last probably about 1 to 2 more days. And then we've got big time weather coming again. Take a look at the conditions across the North Pacific, and this is a temperature map. Now, what you see here is different colors. The oranges and reds are warm, the yellows are mild, the greens and blues are cool to cold progressively, and the wind currents are spinning around in circular patterns across Southern California, anywhere from the 60s to the 70s to the 80s, across the Pacific near Hawaii into the south, temperatures in the 70s to 80s, and the weather is abruptly changing across the latitudinal boundary, basically midway across the Pacific Ocean. Temperatures are only in the 30s to 40s. That's right, even though it is mid-May right now, we have some very cold conditions across much of the Pacific Ocean, the northwestern side of the Pacific, and getting a look into Siberia, temperatures are in the 20s and even the teens. Parts of Russia even colder, and this is just amazing to behold. I mean, we're sitting at a few weeks before summer, and the temperatures this cold over this large of a real estate across northern Russia, Siberia, temperatures are just very cold. Remember, freezing is 32. Anything below that is supportive of ice cover, and that ice isn't melting anytime soon with temperatures like this, even though we know that the sun is progressively getting stronger day after day, and it's going to be a time during the summer where the sun just doesn't set across the northern latitudes. Well, still, we're holding on to the cold, and that cold weather is going to be helping to set the stage for a major weather pattern shift, I think. And this shift is apparent in the computer models. This is the GFS model looking out over the next week or two. And what you see here is a very impressive jet stream. If you're looking at this for January, this is very strong for January. But for May, it's almost unprecedented. We're taking a look at winds at about 120, 130, 150 knots across the Pacific. That is just spectacular. You don't see that very often. I don't think we've seen this in decades, maybe 30 years plus, maybe even more. This is the storm energy that is forecasted to develop out of that Pacific jet stream. You can see the first storm system crashing into California between Wednesday and Thursday, followed by another storm system brewing over the Pacific Ocean, getting onto the West Coast sometime over the weekend, followed by yet another storm system, possibly next week. I mean, this is just spectacular. Once again, January, this is something you would expect, and even then you'd be impressed by that. But for weeks before the summer, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, and I'm sure very few people have seen anything like this either. A look at the Pacific Ocean moisture content, it increases. The greens tell you that the moisture is rapidly intensifying as we have what we call cyclogenesis, or a strengthening storm system, basically hundreds of miles off of California, starting to intensify as it starts to move towards the coast. And you can see that happening there, and then again right there, and then another one here in a few days later. So this is a very impressive weather pattern, something that probably hasn't happened in a multiple decades, to say the least. And I think even going back into about 1990, we had a storm in late May, but that was only one. This is like a barrage, which I don't think this has happened even maybe in about half a century at least. Here's a look at the conditions across the surface. You can see areas of low pressure intensifying off of California. Once again, for midwinter, this would be impressive. For mid-May, this is astounding, basically unprecedented, or borderline such. Look at the cumulative rainfall totals across California. I mean, yeah, you're talking at least about an inch, possibly more than that across the Southland. And this could be easily more than that even as we get into the next few days of fine-tuning Northern California, maybe half a foot of rain. So what we're seeing here is basically a remarkable weather pattern for so late in the spring, a nearly unprecedented midwinter-like jet stream in mid-May, and a series of strong storms to affect the West Coast, including SoCal. We're looking at chances of rain, chances of wind, possibly snow in the mountains, maybe thunderstorms, potential severe weather. That's right, we might have it all across the West Coast. And so get ready.
Once again, to summarize, the calendar will say mid-May, but the weather will feel more like midwinter. That's what we're looking at here.